Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the North American Retail Hardware Association's 24th Annual Young Retailer of the Year Awards Program. I am Scott Wright with NRHA, and on behalf of the association and our board of directors, I want to thank everyone for tuning in tonight to celebrate our industry's future leaders. On behalf of everyone at NRHA, I can say that this evening is one of our favorite events of the year, especially this year. But even though we're on a virtual stage tonight, just like in years past, we will again be showcasing the best and the brightest men and women aged 35 and younger who represent the future of our industry. These are the retailers who continue to raise the bar in how they operate their stores, motivate and inspire their employees through their leadership, and serve their customers and communities. They are a testament to the 160 former Young Retailer of the Year honorees who have come before them since the program was established in 1996. This will definitely be an evening unlike any other in a year that has been unlike any other. And if the past 6 months has demonstrated anything, it's that we are most certainly all in this together. It is through the generosity of our industry partners, through their sponsorship dollars, that this is possible. So now I'd like to introduce our sponsors who will be with us tonight and who will be introducing our honorees. From Fluidmaster, Greg Galen. From Intertape Polymer Group, Dave Lewis. From Midwest Fastener, Glenn Gavart. From Aero Fastener, Gary DeBoff. From MyTech, Mike Nelson. From Pony Jorgensen, Bill Sokol.
And from EPICOR, T.C. Murray.
You'll get to hear more from each of these individuals tonight as they discuss what their sponsorship of this program means to the iconic brands that they represent. This program would not be possible without their ongoing support, and we thank you all for your generosity. So in turn, I encourage the retailers watching tonight to support these brands who support you and who are investing in your future. There is another organization to which we all owe a huge debt of gratitude, and that's our friends from the National Hardware Show. Not only do they make this event possible each year through their sponsorship, they also help promote the future of our industry through their support of the NRHA All Industry Conference and the NRHA Retail Management Certification Program. For the past 5 years, the National Hardware Show has provided $50,000 in scholarships for retailers to attend our management school through the Young Retailer of the Year RMCP Scholarship Program. So now I would like to invite a great friend of NRHA and independent retailers everywhere, Mr. Rich Russo, Vice President of the National Hardware Show, to say a few words.
Hi, my name is Rich Russo, and I'm the Vice President for the National Hardware Show. Wow, what a crazy year this has been, and I'm sure we're all going to have stories, both good and bad, of how we'll remember this time in our lives. Even though we can't be together in person, I'm thankful that we still have ways to stay in touch. I'm honored to speak to you, albeit digitally, prior to this amazing event. The Young Retailer of the Year Awards has always been an outstanding event focused on honoring and celebrating all that you've accomplished. As a representative of the National Hardware Show, it is my pleasure to partner with the NRHA in helping to drive the independent retailer mission and provide an avenue for independent retailers to get top-notch education, source new products, and connect with old friends while making new ones. Together, in our 10-plus year partnership with the NRHA, we continue to reinvent the show to make the National Hardware Show a must-attend part of your yearly schedule. And even though we won't be able to gather together for the National Hardware Show until May of 2021, we invite you all to join us for our virtual event featuring the NRHA All Industry Conference, which will take place from October 12th through the 15th. You can find all the information on keynote speakers, education, inventor pitch panels, and new product introductions coming soon on our website at nationalhardwareshow.com. Until then, I hope you and your families stay safe and be well. Congratulations to all the young retailer winners out there. Thank you.
To round out tonight's introductions of special guests, I would like to ask NRHA Chairman Dan Harris to say a few words about tonight's event and what it means to the association.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Dan Harris, owner of 2 Ace Hardware stores in the Chicago market. As chairman of the NRHA's Board of Directors, I want to welcome you here to this evening's honoring of the brightest young independent home improvement retailers. Like you, I have to admit I'm disappointed that we can't meet in person this year in Las Vegas. But I'm sure you'll be impressed with and inspired by this evening's virtual program. As an NRHA board member for the past 8 years, I've had the distinct privilege and honor of having a front row seat for nearly a decade at the Young Retailer of the Year program. I've seen firsthand the pride and excitement that these honorees are feeling tonight, and I know that is something they will remember and cherish for the rest of their careers. Being an honoree of the NRHA Young Retailer of the Year program is unlike any other. Since I've been involved in the NRHA Board of Directors, I've had the honor to work and meet with 7 former Young Retailer honorees who have served alongside me on the NRHA board. I know what quality these individual and former honorees are, and I've seen what they continue to accomplish in their businesses in years after they've received this honor. In looking at this year's group, what's so exciting for me is that this is just the starting point of the journey forward. The sky is the limit for these folks. Like so many programs the NRHA offers, this program creates not only network opportunities, but bonds, friendships that will last a lifetime. It also creates higher levels of engagement with your association, which I have seen year after year. When I look at the accomplishment that these retailers have made before turning 35 years of age, I'm amazed beyond words. Each year it seems that the bar gets set higher and higher. I'm sure you will agree with me after watching this evening's program, the bar has been set pretty high. Today, there are nearly 33,000 independent hardware stores, home centers, and lumber yards across the United States and Canada. When it comes to independent retailing, there is no industry whose independent sector has remained viable and yes, essential to the well-being of our communities. This fact has come shining through for the past 6 months. And what's so rewarding about being a member of the NRHA is that it doesn't matter what affiliation you hold or what banner you fly, you are first and foremost an independent retailer and entrepreneur. We are definitely all in this together, and no other organization can bring us together like the NRHA. As Scott said in his opening remarks, the Young Retailer of the Year program is a glimpse into the future of our industry. So while we can't meet in person this year, I wanted all those honorees, their families, and sponsors to know how much you mean to this industry's future. Now, as I turn it back over to Scott, I want to congratulate this year's honorees, and I invite you to sit back and enjoy this evening's program. Thank you.
So let's go ahead and get started with our first category this evening, and that's the under $2 million in sales category. And here with me this evening is Dan Trottenchek from NRHA, who has interviewed each of the honorees for the Taking Care of Business podcast, which he moderates and which you can listen to on nrha.org and hardwareretailing.com. So Dan, welcome.
Well, Scott, first I wanted to start the evening off by correcting you, is that not only can you listen to the podcast on nrha.org and on hardwareretailing.com, but it's also available on any of the podcasts app that you might find on Apple or Android or Spotify or Stitcher. And again, that's the Taking Care of Business podcast with Dan Trottenchek, where you can listen to all the interviews with Young Retailers of the Year, plus exciting interviews with other industry executives. I'm sorry, Scott, you were saying?
Thank you so much for that clarification,
Yes,
Dan. I
absolutely, Scott.
appreciate that.
I'm very comfortable correcting you. So
Dan, what stands out to you about the 2 honorees in this first category?
Well, Scott, I think that, first off, every year when we do this, it always just blows you away because you just start thinking about all that these individuals have accomplished by the time they turn 35 years old. And then you start, after that, I start a series of self-reflection, followed by heavy scotch drinking, followed by reflection on how I ended up where I have ended up in my life. And then I go back and I think about how we can honor these individuals' accomplishments. And the first one we're going to profile this evening is Katie Damaris. And Katie, it's kind of funny because when we go through these, and you and I have honestly been around all 24 years that we've been doing this,
Right.
and you see a lot of the same stories in common with the honorees. And one of those kind of themes that we see is you get a lot of people like Katie who actually left corporate America and left that grind of corporate America to go into that small Main Street business. And that's exactly what Katie did. And Katie is the owner of Damaris Hardware in St. Ansgar, Iowa. And she and her husband were both working in corporate America with the John Deere Corporation. And it was actually on a visit back to her husband's hometown that they saw a local hardware store and decided, maybe this is a lot better than suiting up every day and going into your office and pounding away on the keyboard and working in those regards. And so they said, this is how we want to raise a family. This is how we want to kind of build a life, is around living in a hometown and running a hardware store. And that's exactly what they did. And believe me, when you listen to Katie's story, it's not like it was an easy path. I mean, getting
Right.
those corporate paychecks that are going to come every 2 weeks and so on is kind of can be pretty comfortable. But to put it all on the line, and actually what they did was they moved into the basement of the hardware
Yes.
store while they were getting the hardware store up and running and so on. So, imagine that, selling that to your spouse, or both of you guys agreeing, yeah, we're going to do that because we believe so much about that idea. But that's what's so cool about so many of these winners, is they totally believe in what they're committed to. And what they actually saw was, after the first year of doing this, they saw a 152% increase in sales. And they haven't stopped since. They continue to improve. They continue to work with the community and not only do things around the store, but they are really a part of that community because it is their hometown now, and they live there, and they want that community to be vibrant for years to come. So much so that they've actually branched out and gone into other businesses where they've opened a gym and workout facility to add to what the town has to offer. So it's a really good story of someone who's not only an outstanding retailer, but did a lot of things where they sacrificed to go into this industry, and now they're starting to reap those rewards. So Katie's a really good story.
Fantastic story, returning to a more simple life with their families.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Greg Galen. I'm completing my 15th year with Fluidmaster. As National Account Manager, I work very closely with the traditional hardware channel retailers serviced by the co-ops and the independent distributors. Now, can I see a share of hands from any of those that have flushed the toilet today? One, maybe two hands. Okay, well, for those that have and those that will, there's a 70% chance that Fluidmaster is in the tank and got things moving along. Since 1957, Fluidmaster, a family-owned company, has engineered and manufactured product for all the major toilet manufacturers in the U.S., which drives our retail hardware store replacement business in Canada and the United States. Now, this has been a challenging year around the globe. We are constantly being reminded by the media about today's issues. Against that, on a brighter note, our young retailers help us see things through a more positive lens. Young Retailers of the Year for 2020 inspire us by their optimism, their work ethic, their get up and go every day to fight the fight and make their stores and communities better. The people we are hearing about tonight have firm foundations and help us believe our best days now lay in front of us. Fluidmaster has been proud to sponsor this event for many years. We have never forgotten it was the traditional hardware store that helped Fluidmaster get its start in 1957. Supporting the Young Retailers of the Year shows there are young leaders among us, and the future is bright despite what we hear on a daily basis. Year in and year out, we are reminded that people like Katie Damaris of Damaris Hardware and their inspiring stories give it their all and make a difference for all of us. With that, let's hear Katie's story.
Hello, I'm Katie Damaris of Damaris Hardware in St. Ansgar, Iowa. While I wish I was accepting this award in person in Las Vegas, it is still such an honor and a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity that I'm thankful to be a part of. COVID and all. When we purchased the store 3 years ago, I would have never expected to be accepting an award of this magnitude. I definitely couldn't have done it without the following people. First, I would like to thank the NRHA and the Hardware Retailing Magazine. From day one, as hardware store owners, we have relied on them to provide us best practices, current trends and issues, and the newest and hottest products. Thank you to True Value, the vendors and other store owners and managers we've met along the way. All of you have graciously and openly answered all of our questions and genuinely been interested in helping us succeed as new store owners. To our family and friends, thank you for keeping your initial thoughts and comments to yourself, knowing we probably wouldn't have listened to in the beginning anyways. Thank you for your continued support and being our biggest cheerleaders now that we're up and running. To our community, thank you for trusting and supporting us. Because of all of you, I look forward to coming to work every day. And lastly, I would like to thank my husband, Tyler. This was 100% a team effort, and we would not be where we are today without your many hours of grunt man work. I'm proud of what we've accomplished together. I look forward to the time when we can meet at hardware events, hopefully in the near future. Thank you.
Okay, Dan, how about Weston Jacobs from Weekly Watson Hardware in Texas?
Yeah, Weston is actually, Scott, the story is very similar to Katie Damaris. You had a young individual who was part of corporate America. Weston worked for a major trucking company and decided when his family bought this business that he was going to come back and work in the family business and leave that corporate world behind. But what is also kind of cool about the whole Weekly Watson story and the story of that of the store that they're working in is it was actually one of the oldest hardware stores in Texas. So that's not like a new place. I mean, Texas has been around for a while, and the store actually began in 1876. Yeah. And so it's just another example of these independent retail institutions in their communities. And so Weston and his family were really wanting to continue on that legacy, but they had to turn the store into a going entity that could survive the new economic times. So when they bought the store, they had switched distributors, but then after that, when Weston came back into the business, they saw in that first year, the business grew by like 13%. And one of the things I like best about Weston is his very basic philosophy about retailing is that every interaction with every customer matters. Right. And again, that's what really differentiates the big boxes from the independents is that focus on we're going to treat every customer like they're important and help them solve their problems. So another great story of a young entrepreneur.
Absolutely.
My name is Dave Lewis, and I'm the National Sales Manager at Intertape Polymer Group, or IPG. IPG is the second largest manufacturer of tapes and films in the United States. We have been in business since 1981, and we manufacture a full line of just about every type of tape, including masking tapes, duct tapes, carton sealing tapes, building and construction tapes, and even stretch and shrink films. IPG has been involved with the independent retail channel really since the beginning. The independent's deep connection to community, spirit of innovation, and dogged perseverance very much match the values at IPG. The independent channel is our core retail business and will continue to be well into the future. Our support for the Young Retailer of the Year program is rooted in the understanding that we live in a world that is changing at incredible speeds. This year is a perfect example of that. The young retailers who embrace change, take risks, and make well-informed decisions are the people IPG wants to support. This is a job for a professional who thrives in this landscape, and they ought to be supported and respected, which is why we think this program is so important. It is my pleasure to introduce Weston Jacobs as a Young Retailer of the Year honoree. Thank you.
It's an honor to even have an opportunity to speak to you today. And in so many ways, I realize that this award is more for those around me, for my supporting cast than it is for me. Good soil. In West Texas, like much of the country, good soil is the crux for life, for growth and development. Growing up working on a ranch and around so much farmland taught me how pivotal good soil is and how it can be the death of a livelihood. My freshman year of college, I got a job at a veterinary clinic south of College Station, Texas. This was my first job away from my family or from my home, and I really thought I was something special. I thought I was a hard worker. I thought I was smart. I thought I was a gift to that clinic. In my first performance review with the veterinarian, I walked in expecting to be praised for the work I had done. I was always on time. I stayed late when I needed to. I didn't give myself much idle time. I was a great employee by my own account. As I sat down ready to hear my praises sung, the grouchy old vet looked at me kind of puzzled and looked me in the eyes and said, "Weston, I don't know what to do with you. You're good soil, but soil alone is still just dirt." I was dumbfounded. "What do you mean I'm just good soil?" I thought I was a mature cotton field at this point in my professional development. How could he see me so lowly? I thought so high of myself, I didn't ever stop to think about what it took to make soil worth something. As time goes on, and once I let my bruised ego heal a little bit, I realized the weight of the doctor's words. It took time, but now I realize being called good soil wasn't a jab, it was a challenge. In life, we're only as good as those that we allow to pour into us. You can be the best soil on God's green earth, but if you don't allow the farmer to do his work, if you don't accept the seed, if the rains don't come, all you are is dirt. I've realized that though I have a role in this story, and maybe even an important one, there are so many other people and factors and experiences that make my role matter even just a little bit. So today I encourage you to be good soil, but don't ever think that that's all that it takes. Thank you, Dr. Lackey, for teaching me this lesson. I firmly believe it's made all the difference. So thank you first to my beautiful wife who left her hometown in the comfort she knew to stand by my side and encourage me as we entered hardware retail while the rest of the world claimed that brick and mortar was dead. Thank you to my daughters who motivate me every day with their sweet hugs and kisses. Know that Daddy loves you very much, girls. Thank you to my parents, small business owners themselves, for the opportunities that they afforded me, for believing in me, for trusting me, and for allowing me to pursue this industry in a way that most parents would wish their child had not. They have been my keenest advisors, my most trusted confidants, and I am eternally grateful for the example that they have set for me to pursue. Thank you to the employees and crew who took me and my family in. Stepping into Texas' oldest hardware store was a tall task. Your support and guidance means the world to me. My girls see you as family, as do I. You will never understand how much I respect you all and owe so much of this award to you. Thank you to my home community, Brownwood, Texas, for the love and support you have shown. You have always stepped up in times of need, and I respect you all for this award. You've truly shown me what it means to love where you live. Thank you to Ace Hardware, Mark Sherwin, James Moore, for being such incredible advisors and resources. You always help me keep a nose to the future. Thank you to our sponsors, Aero, EPICOR, Fluidmaster, Intertape Polymer Group, Midwest Fastener, MyTech, and Pony Jorgensen. Last but most important, thanks to the good Lord. Colossians 3:23 encourages us to work at all things as though we are working for the Lord. I hope any success that I have points to the Creator and encourages others to strive for success, no matter what you do or don't believe. Thank you to the NRHA for hosting this event, presenting this award. I look forward to using this small moment in time to propel myself forward, and I strive to always be good soil that is made better by those who surround me. Thank you all. Gig 'em, and God bless.
Okay, so now let's move on to the over $2 million in sales category, starting with Sam Olson from Buffalo Hardware.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sam is one of these guys that, and again, it comes along almost every year you see this. I mean, he was kind of like one of the young starters. When he was just 24 years old, just right out of college, and he was studying entrepreneurial studies at college, so he kind of had that business savvy mind. But at 24, he and his parents went in and bought this business, but then Sam runs the whole thing. And not only was he able to take over this business in the small town, I think there's 350 people in the town of Buffalo.
Right.
And so he took over this business, and he was able to grow that business. He immediately stepped in and said, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And he had a plan, and he hit the ground running. But once that business started to grow, he didn't stop. And now Sam has moved on to own a propane business, a service station business, and he just keeps growing this. And when you talk to Sam, and if you listen to the podcast, and you'll hear more from Sam in more of our programming, but the reason he wants to do this is because he loved growing up in this town, and he wants to make sure that people don't have to leave that town, that the people don't get that, well, I want to get out of Buffalo because there's nothing to do in Buffalo, there's no place to work in Buffalo. So he started these businesses really kind of around the idea of we want to commit to growing this town. And when you hear about some of the charitable work and so on that they do that also supports that community, what they did to raise some money for some families in need in the community, and when you think about the size of the community and the amount of money that they raised, and that's kind of a teaser. I want you to listen to more about that, but it's really impressive what they're doing in their community. So Sam is just a great example of not only someone who's a really smart business person, but someone who is so committed to giving back to and helping their communities grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
My name is Mike Nelson, and I manage the builder products business for MyTech. I'm so happy to celebrate with you the 6 honorees of the 2020 Young Retailer of the Year Awards. I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't rather be celebrating face-to-face in Las Vegas rather than face-to-computer in my cramped office/guest bedroom. But what greater recognition of these honorees could we make than to be steadfast in the face of new challenges? Like the Young Retailer of the Year honorees, MyTech is focused on the challenge of transforming our communities through better building. Our integrated software, services, engineered products, and automated solutions enable you to design, make, and build better. When I look across the list of honorees, I see 6 entrepreneurs transforming their communities with tremendous courage, stewardship, and innovation. I see Katie Damaris, who used her business to provide employment and help local special needs students build life skills. I see Matthew Holmes, who guided his business as they helped their communities recover from catastrophic flooding. To celebrate these values and the people who exhibit them is why we're here. And to endorse and share these values is why MyTech partners with the NRHA and the Independent Home Improvement Channel. On behalf of the NRHA and my colleagues at MyTech, it is my honor to introduce Sam Olson from Buffalo Hardware.
Hello everyone, I'm Sam Olson from Buffalo Hardware in Buffalo, South Dakota. Everyone at the NRHA, thank you for making this award possible. It's quite the honor. To all the past and present young retailers, congratulations. This is an exciting time. To Brent Little, thank you for nominating me for this award. To all the employees at Buffalo Hardware, you truly are what makes this store run. You are what gives every customer the personal attention, the respect that they deserve, and I appreciate everything that you do for the store. Thank you. To the community, just 6 years ago when I came back home, you guys bought into us right away and shopped local, and I appreciate every opportunity that you've given us these past few years, so thank you. To Tim and Laura, it was 6 years ago, I was sitting at college thinking about what I was going to do with my life when you guys called up and there's the opportunity to buy the store here in Buffalo, and I wasn't sure what all I was biting into, but with your guys' guidance, came home and we decided to move ahead with it. I was quite a bit smarter than you, came out of college with a business degree, and I was sure I taught you lots there that first few months in business, but I learned quick that I wasn't as smart as I thought I was, and that your 30 years owning and running a construction business accounted for something. It's been truly an amazing honor to work hand in hand with my parents to run this store and to see what you guys have done with your business and all of your guidance has been amazing. So thank you. To my wife, Caitlin, thank you for everything that you do for me. You're an amazing support system for me. You're great behind the camera here as we video this. Thank you for all that you do. Thanks again. This is an amazing honor. I appreciate it more than you'll all ever know. Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to move on to our final category of the evening, the multi-store category. And Dan, we have some heavy hitters in this category, starting with Ryan Buck, who's the owner of Buck's Home Building Center and New Germany Home Hardware Building Center in Bridgewater and New Germany, Nova Scotia.
Yeah, and Scott, it's kind of interesting in the multiple stores category. There's always one year where there's a category that there tend to be some more people that we recognize. This year it happened to be multiple store, and Ryan's a great example of that. And like a lot of our nominees, Ryan had gone away to college, and then after college he came back and started working in the business. But he didn't start running the business. Right. He started working in this installed sales area, and he was able to grow that installed sales area. And he
Amazing
grew it,
result,
yeah,
yeah.
I mean, from 250,000 a year in sales to over 1.5 million in sales is what he was able to do with that. Then he's also a good testament to how a good succession plan could work, because they started working with their parents about how they could buy the business. And then Ryan and his wife in 2019 bought the business from his parents. And now that he's kind of running the whole operation, that kind of success continues. And they've seen, just for instance, their customer count, their store traffic has increased by 60% in the last year. So they're seeing more success and looking for more aggressive acquisitions and looking to grow even beyond what they have right now. So really the sky's the limit for Ryan.
Well, yeah, just 4 months after they bought the business, they opened a new store, the New Germany home hardware store. So yeah, he was ready to take off like a rocket, and he has.
Yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't anticipate that's going to stop.
No, absolutely not.
Hi, I'm Bill Sokol. I'm the VP of Marketing for Pony Jorgensen Clamps. At Pony Jorgensen, we're delighted to be sponsors of the 2020 Young Retailer of the Year Awards, and also active participants in the NRHA. Our business has been around since 1903, and over the last nearly 100 years, we've built a deep and rich history in the independent hardware channel. Our instantly recognizable clamps, the bright orange ones, are a standard fixture in workshops and garages all across America. Some of you may know that in 2016, our brand actually left the market. Our management team picked it up, and we are in the process of reintroducing these great products to the independent hardware channel. We like to joke that we are a 97-year-old startup in that regard, because we've got these great products that have been around forever, and yet we're having to relaunch them with a fresh new set of eyes. So we found ways to kind of rethink and reimagine what a clamp business can be. And in that regard, we have a lot of affinity for and respect for what this year's honorees have been able to accomplish. These young people from all over the country have found ways to bring new innovation, new ways of thinking and doing things. They found new ways to drive value for themselves, for their businesses, for their employees, and for their communities. In short, they have found ways to transform a business that's been around forever and push it into the future. And that is not an easy thing to do. So on behalf of all of the 350 North American employees of Pony Jorgensen, we want to congratulate all of this year's honorees. And it gives me great pleasure to introduce one of these amazing people to you today, Ryan Buck.
Ryan Buck, Buck's Home Building Center, New Germany Home Hardware Building Center. What a tremendous honor being selected as the Young Retailer of the Year in the multi-store category. To be recognized by the North American Retail Hardware Association while representing this great, iconic Canadian company in home hardware came as a great surprise and is truly an honor. There's a quote I live by daily, and it's, "Great things in business are never done by one person, they're done by a team of people." And I truly have had a wonderful team of people work alongside me and help me and guide me along my journey to being a leader in this industry. Retail and building supplies are in my blood. I enjoy coming to work on a daily basis, working alongside my two locations of over 50 staff of men and women who are committed to this business. And these recognitions and awards make it all worth it, as this is truly a team effort and a testament to their hard work. Over the past 2 years, we continually push and express retail experience, and this great group continually to do that on a daily basis, ensuring customer service, merchandising, and our standards are upheld, allowing our great company to grow our market share and our great company. I've had the privilege to sit on a performance group over the past 3 to 4 years alongside some of the great home hardware operators, and 2 being past award winners in this category. These relationships and the ability to sound off one another, help each other with advice in difficult situations being a new owner, has been very helpful and advantageous. And I thank this group for all their influence on my growth as a leader in this industry. 3 years ago, Home Hardware hired Dan Hardy as a regional sales operation to have an influencer who has lived on the retail side of the business, the operations side of the business. In his previous career with Central Supplies, has been a great help in learning and development in my business. His knowledge and understanding of our environment has come as tremendous help, and I thank you, Dan, tremendously for your continued support over the years. To all the dealer owners within this great company whom I've had conversations with over my careers since my parents have joined Home Hardware in 2000, I thank you all for your knowledge, openness, transparency, and discussions, along with your wisdom. We truly have a great supportive dealer network across this great nation. Just turning 34 in May, having worked alongside my parents, Brian and Janice Bucks, since I've been 16 years old, has been an absolute honor. In 2019, they had the confidence in myself and my wife to take over this business, which they've built since 1984. You've never missed a sporting event. You've never missed a concert for me or my 3 daughters. And more importantly, you've always picked up the phone and listened to a rant or been able to give advice whenever asked upon. Throughout my career, specifically the past 7 years, whenever in a tough spot, the phrase that was used the most often was, "What would Brian do?" And it continues today. Thank you both for being wonderful parents, amazing grandparents, and continually being there for Julie and I. It hasn't always been smooth and it hasn't always been easy. As you can imagine, most family businesses aren't, but your support, vote of confidence, and mentorship has never gone unnoticed. I love you both. Lastly, most importantly, to my amazing wife of almost 10 years in March, the husband and wife owning a business, 3 beautiful daughters, never leaves boredom in our world. Julie, you're an amazing wife, an amazing mother, a great partner in the business that we continue to grow. Albeit the hours are crazy, the work-life balance is hectic, you're always there to ensure our girls are able to participate in their activities, go to their competitions, and enjoy a great life, while all at the same time being a part of our business. You continue to support my goals personally, vision for the business, while not always in agreement. You truly understand the big picture of what I want to accomplish. Madison, Eliana, and Kenzie, you are the treasures in Daddy's life, and I hope you understand and appreciate the hours and work myself and Mommy put in to be able to make all of your dreams come true, as you 3 girls have made our dreams come true. I would like to thank the selection committee for this great honor. I was hoping to make this speech in Las Vegas rather than in my office in Nova Scotia with Vegas-type weather. Leading through a pandemic has been tough, tiring, stressful, mentally draining, and emotional. Receiving an award like this has been a great morale boost for the team. And as we continue to work together in this pandemic, I ask everyone to be safe, be well, and be kind. Thank you very much.
Okay, Dan, next we have Matthew Holmes, who is now the 4th generation owner of Holmes Building Materials in Baton Rouge, Louisiana.
Yeah, and again, like I said, to start this whole thing off is you start to see some similarities between these winners and what they have been able to do. And the story for Matthew was very similar to what we've heard with some of the other winners, is he went away from the family business for a while. His dad said, "Listen, I understand you might want to come back, but I think it's important that you get some experience outside." So he went and worked for a custom home builder for a while. Then he came back into the business. And when he came back into the business, he didn't start running the business. His dad was like, "No, you're going to start kind of learning every aspect of the business." So he started in specific areas of the business where he started building things like showrooms. And he started building these showrooms. Then they really started to take off. And the store had added nearly $20 million to the top line as a result of adding these showrooms to the business. And then he did that for a while, kind of proved what he could do. And then when his dad decided he wanted to step away from the business and retire, they started having a conversation about Matthew taking over. And then Matthew in 2018 took over as president of the company. And now they're in that process where we're working through the transition of the business. But I think it's also important to emphasize Matthew's impact on the business. When he came back in 2011, since then, they have seen sales of the overall business double to now they're over $48 million annually. So what an impact that can have, bringing in that fresh blood and fresh ideas into the business.
Absolutely. And what a great testament to the power of succession planning.
Hello, my name is Glenn Gavart. I'm the Vice President of Hardware Sales here at Midwest Fastener. Midwest Fastener is a family-owned and operated full-service fastener company based in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We create fastener destinations all over the country. Because no two retail hardware stores are exactly the same, none of our fastener displays are exactly the same. We've been in business for more than 50 years and are currently managed by the third generation of the DeVries family. Since the early days at Midwest, the independent channel has been critical to our growth and success. The independent channel has helped Midwest get to where we are today and will help us get where we're going in the future. Because of our association with the channel, we feel a close connection to the Young Retailer of the Year award. We've been sponsoring this event for almost 10 years, and we're honored to do so. The younger generation of hardware retailers is important to our industry's continued success. The 2020 honoree that I'm introducing tonight is no exception. Please join me in congratulating Matthew Holmes of Holmes Building Materials.
Hey everyone, my name is Matthew Holmes with Holmes Building Materials. I would like to thank everyone at the NRHA for selecting me as the Young Retailer of the Year. Based upon the past winners and current winners, it's truly an amazing group of people, and I feel very fortunate to be included in that. Growing up in a hardware store as a kid and in a lumber yard, we try to take care of the customer on a day in, day out basis, and that's the main focus. Never in a million years would I've ever thought that Little Holmes Building Materials in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and myself would be nominated and win a prestigious award like this. With this award, there's been a lot of hard work and dedication behind the scenes, and so I would like to give thanks to a couple of people that have meant a whole lot to me in this journey that we have been on. Christina, my wife, thank you so much. You have no idea how much you mean to me, how stable you are in keeping the family together. Sometimes I know that I have to work long hours and it's tough on our family life, but thank you very much for picking the ball up and always keeping it rolling. To my mom and dad, John and Lisa, y'all are amazing, amazing people. Y'all have definitely steered me in the right direction throughout many journeys of life. So thank you very much. I love y'all and can't wait to see what the future holds. To Do It Best, who is a co-op with us, I would like to really thank Dan Walton for helping me write the article and for some of the video, and also for Mike Tremolin as being a very good mentor in a round table that we're in. Last but not least, I would like to thank all the team members at Holmes Building Materials. This was not an award for me. This was an award for us. From management to assistant managers to customer service people to salespeople, without y'all and your dedication and hard work on a day in, day out basis, nobody gets recognized for any of this. So thank you very much. Thank you for taking care of our customers, and thank you for really giving it your all. From the bottom of my heart, I'd like to thank again the NRHA for the Young Retailer of the Year award.
Okay, so our last honoree of this evening is a great friend of the association, Cody Gepner, who went through our retail management certification program a couple of years ago. So Dan?
Yeah, and Cody's one of these friends of NRHA. He started really getting involved with NRHA through the Retail Management Certification Program. And when he was involved in the program, he was working at a family store in southern Indiana. And something else that Cody's story really shows is the power of getting involved in your industry and networking in that industry, because shortly after, his family business had to close down. But like I've heard from so many of our honorees, is this just gets in your blood. And Cody wasn't ready to just call this industry quits for a career in this industry. So he reached out to some of the connections he had made, and he found out there was an opening with Blyle Co-op. And so he moved out there and he took over managing their Grandview store. And again, he took a lot of these things that he had learned and these practices and set to re-merchandising, looking at where there were inventory opportunities, looking where there are opportunities for growth, and he has managed to grow that business as well. So Cody is not only a great story in retail success, it's also a story with the parable that, man, you never go wrong networking, and making friends in the industry can help your career, but also when it's in your blood, it's in your blood, and it is certainly in Cody's blood.
Yeah, and literally these contacts that he made through NRHA have changed his life and his career.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he'd say for the better.
I would hope so.
Hello, I'm TC Murray, Vice President of Retail at EPICOR, and today it's my pleasure to be introducing Cody Gepner of Blyle Co-op. At EPICOR, we are the leading software provider for independent hardware industry, and we're very proud to have served this community for over 45 years. It's very special for me today to be introducing and congratulating Cody because he is an EPICOR customer at Blyle Co-op. We share a lot of common values in terms of focus on integrity, innovation, and community. Cody serves on the senior leadership team at Blyle Co-op, where he's constantly focused on providing superior retail operations. What's nice for us at EPICOR is that we're able to provide Cody and Blyle the software, the hardware, the payment processing, the business products that they need to really provide great customer experiences for their community. So without further ado, please congratulate Cody with me and welcome him as a Young Retailer of the Year.
To be recognized as a 2020 Young Retailer of the Year is truly an honor I will revere my entire career. My journey in the hardware industry began as many others do in your grandparents' own hardware stores, running around the aisles, eating the popcorn, and taking a free balloon home with you. When I was a little older, I began working in the family business, and at a young age, I learned what it means to work hard, respect the people that you work with, and above all, family comes first. The successes I have experienced early on in my career are built upon the foundation of a family business that was owned and operated by my family for 7 generations. I am eternally grateful for my entire family for lifting me up and helping me fulfill my aspirations in life. To my parents, each of you have given me more than I could have ever asked for. Dad, your love and support in everything I do goes unmatched, and I am so thankful for your constant love. Mom, the amount of blessings you've poured into my life are overwhelming. Thank you for molding me into who I am today. To my sister, you are so much smarter, you're so much prettier, and so much funnier than I am. And you are by far more talented than I will ever be. I'm so proud to call you my sister, and I will forever be in awe of my wish that came true. I'm so excited to celebrate your future endeavors. To my grandparents, I'm proud to carry on your legacy in everything I do. Your work ethic is something I strive for, and your balance of family and business is always something I aspire to achieve. At one time, I had actually sworn off the family business as I pursued other dreams. As those dreams eclipsed, the idea of joining the family business I had sworn off so many years before became my dream again, and quickly a reality as I moved back to my hometown and began leading the hardware store. To better equip myself for the industry and to learn the ropes of management, I signed up for the NRHA RMCP. The independent hardware industry hadn't been a part of my career plan, and as I've said many times before, I felt like I didn't belong at first. However, Scott, Rob, and the entire crew have formulated the industry's leading management training where they gave me the opportunity to refine the skill sets and experiences that I felt discredited me from the industry. I found those same skills quickly became my strong points in leading my team and evolving the way we did business in the 4 walls of our store and outside of them into the community. The transformation I went through during the training was one that has set me up for many successes I have experienced, and I'm sure many more that are yet to come. To Scott Wright and Rob Matthews, your leadership in the industry has impacted more people than you will ever know. Your expertise and insight on the industry has helped shape me into the retailer I am today. Thank you for investing in the next generation of leaders and encouraging us to explore the successes and failures of other entrepreneurs while staying true to ourselves. To Gary Petz, your constant encouragement has been an amazing compass as I continue to navigate my young career. I admire your dedication to independent retailers and love hearing other stories about how you've impacted their lives the same way you've impacted mine. Thank you for always pushing me to express my creative self, even in the midst of everything else. To Mike Goldsby, Will Davis, and Josiah Gates, thank you for taking the time to teach me and other independent retailers about the depths of the industry. Because of you, I found my true purpose and how to align it with everything I do. I know my future will be brighter than I have already experienced because of you. The experiences I had and the connections I made during the NRHA training set me on a trajectory that was even wilder than the returning to the industry in the first place. After a couple of years of working at the family business and being inspired by others within the industry, I found myself moving across the country to the Pacific Northwest to engage in the development of retail at Blau Co-op. Here at Blau Co-op, our goal is to preserve a way of life for the farmers by being a world-class cooperative. As I joined the retail team, I immediately saw the potential of exponential growth by simply refining the processes in place. From day one, we have been developing an industry-leading retail operation focused on always taking care of our customers in the most effective, efficient, and profitable ways. As much energy, vision, and strategy as I bring to the co-op, I couldn't do this alone. The entire team here at Blau Co-op has rallied around the idea of win for the farmer. Being a part of this team and seeing the progress we've made in such a short period of time has truly been inspiring. To Dan Morano and Russ Ward, you two are my first connections to Blau Co-op, and the experiences I've had out here wouldn't be possible without you believing in me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to perform within my strengths and grow outside of them as I tackled projects that I had never imagined before. Thank you for the privilege of being a part of our vision, and I can't wait to create my own with everything you taught me. To my retail teams, I share this award with you as my successes truly wouldn't be achieved without your hard work and dedication. I am overwhelmed by your zeal to learn new things, and I'm so thankful for everything you teach me. Your willingness to be better day after day has to be one of the most rewarding things I've experienced thus far. To the True Value family, growing up in the True Value family has been one of the highlights in my life. Your premier associates have supported me throughout every phase of developing our retail operations and inspired us to reach for greatness that was beyond our own visions. To Jax, Robbie, Mitch, and Greg, thank you for your highest commitment to excellence. Leaning into you has made me a better retailer. Within the independent hardware industry, our day-to-days are filled with what from the outside has to appear rather insignificant. But I would say the long days of training employees, developing operations, stocking shelves, remerchandising departments, community outreach, and everything else that's involved in running an independent hardware operation is some of the greatest and most rewarding work out there. The connections we make and the impacts we have on our communities build upon the legacies of those who came before us and lay the path for future successes of those who will follow. To the NRHA, thank you for being the melting pot of the independent hardware industry. Your leadership is steadfast and always something I look for. Thank you for the constant support and for always believing in me and the entire industry. To our sponsors, thank you for investing in the next generation of independent retailers. Your constant support is proven not only in moments like these, but when you make room for the independence within your business models. Thank you. And last but far from least, to the late Marcus Moran, the kind words you shared with me at the very beginning of my career echo in my mind with every idea I have and every decision I make. I will always strive to lead with humility and commit to learning something new every day. With these core principles, we can truly revolutionize the industry. I am constantly encouraged by the accomplishments of those within our industry. I am proud to stand among the retail giants of the Young Retailer of the Year class of 2020. To see how each store tackles the same problems in so many creative and innovative ways inspires me to be better. I believe the diversity, creativity, and innovation of each of these young leaders is the key to keeping the industry fresh and renewed for generations to come. I look forward to what is next, and I truly believe the best is yet to come. Thank you.
The stories and acceptance videos we've all heard tonight are a testament to the viability of the independent home improvement channel. And you can read more about this year's honorees in our September issue of Hardware Retailing Magazine and watch their videos on nrha.org. As we've said several times tonight, and it's worth repeating, these folks represent our future. And yes, we are in very good hands. So let me leave you with this. To this year's honorees, keep up the great work. Keep setting the bar high, not just for yourself, but for all of us. Become involved and engaged with your association. We want you to be part of the NRHA family for the rest of your careers. To all of the independent retailers tuning in tonight, take this inspiration and be intentional with it. Use it to strengthen your business and grow your people. Perhaps you have a future Young Retailer of the Year honoree working for you who just needs your mentorship to make it happen. For the distributors and co-op representatives watching tonight, please know how much we value your support as our business partners. You are invested in the success of our industry. Thank you for your continued support of NRHA and the Young Retailer of the Year program. At the end of the day, we all share the same goal, to help retailers be better and more profitable, regardless of their affiliation. That's been our mission for the past 120 years. And finally, for the manufacturers tuning in tonight, take the lead from tonight's sponsors. Hopefully, you've gained insight into the viability, strength, and determination of the independent home improvement retail channel. There are 33,000 essential independents in our industry. They are the ones who keep our communities vibrant and viable across North America. Thanks for joining us this evening, everyone. We look forward to seeing you in person as soon as it's safe to do so. Have a great evening, and congratulations again to our 2020 Young Retailers of the Year.